Lombard, Lane, I want you to meet our new stringer. I want you to show him the ropes. This is Clark Kent. Good luck, kid.
Hey, Steve.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Hi. Lois Lane. Welcome to the planet.
Glad to be here, Lois.
Zack Snyder's Man of Steel is without a doubt my favorite Superman movie and my absolute favorite film in the DCEU. I think it's well acted, well directed, extremely well shot, and I love the story that's being told in it. Especially the character arc that Kal-El goes through from beginning to end. It's a complex arc, a multifaceted one, and I think Snyder and the writing team pulled that arc off incredibly well. The movie has its flaws, don't get me wrong, but one complaint I hear all the time is, this isn't the Superman I grew up with. Or more reasonably, this Superman is too dark, too sad, and too depressing. And Superman isn't Superman at all in this film. Now, I can totally understand why someone may have those criticisms. Yeah, the Man of Steel version of Superman is nothing like the classic Christopher Reeve incarnation that so many people grew up loving, but I can't really fault the film for that. Man of Steel isn't a movie about Superman being Superman. It's not trying to be that. Hell, it's not even a movie about Clark Kent, really. It's ultimately a movie about Kal-El becoming both Superman and Clark Kent, and finally being able to be comfortable with both of his main identities. In Man of Steel, by the end of the film, Kal-El truly becomes Superman, the hero that he was destined to be, and there's no better scene that illustrates his growth into that character than the final scene of the film where he finally accepts that he's on Earth as he's smiling towards Lois. The scene cuts to black and the movie's over. It's a great way to end the movie and cap off this incredible journey that Kal-El's gone through. The scene is so subtle, so seemingly simple, but there's so many layers to it, and I honestly believe it's At the very end of the film, Clark's mother asks him, "What are you gonna do when you're not saving the world?" We then see Clark riding his bicycle on a street on his way to somewhere, where he says he can keep his ear to the ground, where people won't look twice. We see him from behind, his tie flailing through the wind. He reaches his destination, the Daily Planet, and walks into an elevator in the building. As the elevator closes, the camera so subtly pans up, showing Kal putting on his infamous Clark Kent glasses. Kal has now become the Clark Kent that we all know and love. Finally, not the Clark Kent who's a fisherman, not the Clark Kent who takes odd jobs here and there. No, this scene presents to us the Clark Kent, the reporter, the glasses-wearing, well-dressed, well-mannered Clark Joseph Kent. Perry White introduces Lois to Clark in this scene, but there's so much more meaning behind this introduction than I think people give it credit for. The entire film's message is about how Kal is destined for greatness. That's a message that's pretty obvious throughout the film. The movie makes a point to show several times that Kal is meant to be a messiah-like figure for the people of Earth, the bridge between two peoples, as his biological father Jor-El tells him moments before Kal saves Lois Lane. Clark's adoptive father, Jonathan Kent, knew that Clark was destined for greatness. He knew that Clark was put on Earth for a reason. Jonathan Kent didn't let Clark save him during the tornado in Kansas because not only was the Earth not ready for Clark to be seen, but Jonathan himself knew that Clark, his only son, also wasn't ready, and it turns out he was right.
I let my father die because I trusted him. Because he was convinced that I had to wait. That the world was not ready.
The time for Kal to become the messiah-like figure he is destined to be is now. The birth of Superman and Clark in this movie happens because Kal meets his biological father, and General Zod along with his cronies arrive on Earth. Without Zod coming to Earth, Kal-El wouldn't have become the Clark Kent that we see by the end of the film. He would have just been a guy in a skin-tight blue suit, probably saving people here and there, but he certainly wouldn't have gone through nearly as much development as he does in the film had he not fought the Kryptonians and had he not killed Zod. Battling Zod was the defining moment of Kal's life, and having to kill the last of his race was clearly difficult for Kal-El. His whole life he wondered where he was from, who were his people, and what was his purpose on Earth. Now he knows all of that, but after killing Zod, he no longer needs to feel the burden of accepting his humanity. For Kal's whole life, he had been running away from his destiny, running away from Earth metaphorically speaking, out of fear of what he truly was and of what his destiny was. But by the end of the movie, Kal-El has learned and has been through so much because of the insane spectacle that was the Battle of Metropolis. The final scene of Man of Steel represents everything that Clark has been through. Lois tells Clark, "Welcome to the planet." I've seen this movie 1,000 times, but it was only recently that I noticed that Lois probably isn't talking about the Daily Planet, the newspaper, magazine, and organization she works for. She's probably talking about how Clark has finally accepted the person he was meant to be. She's acknowledging how Clark has finally accepted that he is on Earth. He has a destiny, and she knows that he now knows what it is. The Clark standing in front of her now is a far cry from the Clark she encountered at Jonathan Kent's gravestone. Clark replies to Lois saying, "Glad to be here, Lois," proving to us that Kal isn't the man he was at the beginning of the film. I mean, that's obvious. Character development is in every film, but I don't think the growth of a character is represented nearly as well as it is in this film and as it is in this final scene. Like I said, it's an extremely subtle scene, but it's such a great way to end the movie. Not only do we see Clark finally accepting the fact that he is a god among men, but he's also accepting the fact that he is just as human as everyone else is now. Not literally, not physically, but in every way he feels matters. He's now at a place in his life where he wasn't prior to this scene. It's here we see Clark accepting who he is, accepting who he really is. He knows he's on Earth, he's glad to be there, and he knows that he is the bridge between two peoples. Superman, the Man of Steel. Oh, hi, so you made it to the end of the video. That tells me that you really dug what I was saying. You really dug my vibe. So because you did, you should probably subscribe, because why not, you know? It's free. And there's gonna be more videos like this coming, hopefully. I'm in college, I don't know. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos, especially that cancer culture one, because I'm very proud of that. Stop watching my Last of Us video, because I don't care about that game anymore. Toodles.